Good morning, and today's going to be pocket fours. We are under the gun plus one, open raise. This is probably a little bit too loose for me. Early position. I've been trying to avoid raising with some of these hands. I guess it just kind of depends on what the situation is. But here we've got a bunch of loose players. Fours just isn't good enough. I'll add them on there, fives and fours. But I think this is just too loose. I probably should have just folded this. Um, well, we raised and we get three callers. All three look to be somewhat loose. This guy's 218 hands. He's playing 40% of hands. This guy, I've got 31 hands. This guy got 16 hands. So let's look at 31 hands. He's playing 48-3. That looks like he's super loose until you realize that a lot of those hands are early position or mid position. It could be in these in these few hands, he's just really getting a lot of hands, and you can see he's not really calling. All of those seem to be limping in. So, while maybe he limps a lot, maybe he's going to be a little bit tighter. So if we look at some of the hands, we have a 3-bet range of jacks, and then we have called 2-bet from blinds, and then you have limp and call to raise information. So, if we look at the ranges, I kind of think this might be a suitable range for him. This is 22%. It's not limping. I guess he's going to play many more hands if he limps in less hand, but since I raised, I think it's going to narrow it down. So just something like this. And I'm kind of rethinking, how many of these suited connectors, how low do we go with these suited connectors? How often do I see players show up with, a 5-4, 6-4? Are those actually in the range, or are we heavier up on like suited kings and whatnot? This is going to be what I give to small blind. I do see, if we look at his small blind stat, 43%, which seems like a lot. His call is 21%, 3 out of 14. It's about, small blind. He seems to play more than in the big blind. And when we look at hands, I have a lot of hands on him, called 2-bet from the blinds. I've got, let's see, your sevens. You have suited kings. You've got, looks like suited queens down to like queen 8. You've got Jack 9 suited plus, you got Jack 5, Jack 2, 10-4. Then your offsuits, you kind of go down to like King Jack, King 7, Queen 10, Queen 7, Jack 9, and so forth. So I've put up 27%. Kind of rethinking maybe, suited queens, maybe get rid of those, and then potentially your offsuit aces as a call here. And then our big blinds, 50%, 16% hands. I'm just gonna say, he's played like 50%, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 1 in the big blind. I'm just gonna give him some big range. I'm gonna go back to this guy. We do have Ace King where he is called, so but I'm gonna leave those out. I'm gonna say queens plus is that called Ace King suited? There's got to be something different, because I do have 3-bet range here of 10s plus, 10s and jacks and 7s and 4s, ace queen king jack. So let's do that. Let's give him a little bit more. I didn't pay attention to that 3-bet range. Okay, we'll go with that for his 3-bet range. So 4 of us see a flop. Flop comes down King 10-2. So heads up, this could actually be a decent board to fire a bet on, especially against these looser players. They're going to have a lot of hands that miss. They're going to have to get rid of. So it checks to us. In a 4-way pot, I think we're going to have to be a little bit more straightforward. So I do think we're going to probably be playing like top pair plus. I think probably all top pairs is what we're going to likely bet. Maybe like King 9, King Jack are some that maybe we don't. I think some of these players they've got the suited kings. So I mean, they could connect, and they have some offsuit kings. So I think we're gonna go with bets like that. I think let's get the grouping here. King Jack, King 9's probably gonna be a call. I think we're probably betting kings and 10s here. You know, trips. I think we're gonna be just checking queens and jacks. We're gonna be checking middle pair. We're gonna be checking all of those. I think our flush draws will likely be raised. Our open enders will likely be raised. Our gut shots will likely be raised. And that gets us more bluffs than draws. We can kind of also look at some of these 2-card backdoor draws as well as kind of increasing. Ace 5, Ace 4. I think those are all in here again. Let's see here, 10, 10, 9. Those 10s aren't there. We're checking those. We'll probably leave all of those 10s in our checking range. So I think that's going to be our play. So, and then of course everything else. So let's go through here and just X those out. Get those X out. We still have those. Take those out. All right, so that's our checking range. Villain 8 checks behind. Question is, would he bet anything here? Maybe a set. I do think sets and 2-pair are gonna bet. Maybe even the good top pair like King, Queen, King, Jack are probably gonna bet here. We'll leave King, Jack. I think some players will just check behind with King, Jack. So we'll give him that. We'll include all the flush draws. Might not bet those. So at least we've narrowed one player down. He's got a weaker range. We have a weaker range. These guys still have their entire range. Jack of clubs comes out. Villain 1 checks. Villain 2 checks. This guy checks. Would he check a straight? I don't know. Out of position? No. I'm gonna say no. 2-pair out of position? No. I think they're gonna bet. But top pair, I think we're all, I think he's definitely could be betting those. And same thing with this guy. I think it's straight, set, 2-pair are probably gonna be betting. I think top pair is definitely. I think I left top pair. I think top pair is definitely a hand that could be checking here. I think flush draws are probably checking too. So it's looking like everyone's going to be fairly weak, which means when it comes back to us, we could bet. I mean, we have some of those kings here. We have some of those that King 9 that we could bet. I mean, we're going to have some of the trips in our range. Are we going to get 4 people to fold? Probably not. So I kind of think like this is going to be another situation where we bet sets in 2-pair, that we've connected King, Jack, Jack 10. We try to get some value from them. Sets in 2-pair, but like our top pair, King 9, still probably going to be a check. And then we're going to have to look at some of our bluffs. So I think the flush draw. So if we look at sets, that's 3 combos. We've got 3 combos of theirs. We've got 6 combos. So we're going to need like 6 combos just to kind of keep balance. So let's do this. There's 2. Oh, that's 9. Probably Queen 10. I think queens we have some showdown value here. Tens less so. So I think that's gonna be our bets, and then everything else is just gonna be a check. And the last guy checks behind, so he had opportunity again. Straight 2-pair, definitely out. We're gonna give him everything like that. So right now the 4 is looking maybe we're good. Ace just definitely destroys it. I do think a lot of people have aces here. Villain 1, villain 2. Let's see. All of us check here. So this guy checks. We eliminate straights, 2-pair. Top pair probably checks. We'll keep that. That's his. Same thing. At best, I think they've got top pair. And we could break it down here. You know, of the hands that check, yeah, he's got a lot of these weak pairs. We beat some of them. We don't beat a whole lot. Are they going to fold? Maybe. I think when you look at it individually, if we were heads up against any of them, we could have bet the turn and probably expected to win quite often. But against all 3 of them, I just don't think we could do that. I think the chance that someone calls is way too high. So that's him. Us, yeah, we would definitely bet the straight. I think we would have. I don't think actually we're gonna go back here. We're gonna leave sets and 2-pair in here, just because I forgot it was the 4-card straights up on the board. So yeah, we would bet the straight, but I think everything else we're just gonna be checking behind here, just the same. And let's see. So we will start with this guy, Jack 9 of hearts. Do we have him? Yep, Jack 9 of hearts here. That's a middle pair type hand, or weak pair, I guess you could say. So we did have that. He beats us. Jack 9 offsuit for this guy. We had that in his range, pretty good. And we did have pocket 3s. So if we think about it, if I had bet the flop, he's folding more than likely, but I bet both of these players call, or at least one of them calls. On the turn, definitely they're calling. They've picked up a pair, and they're drawing to a gut shot. And then on the river, yeah, if they call the turn, I do think we could get a fold if we had been betting the entire way. It would be hard for them to, you know, once that ace comes, it would be hard for them to call one more time with just a jack. But I don't think we should have ever been in this hand. I think we probably should have just folded this because we were in early position. So hopefully enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another one.